Magic and Mystery in Tibet by Alexandra David-Neel. Now I'd like to start by reading you a quote from one of her lectures. Apparently she gave a lot of lectures based on her travels, and this one particularly speaks to me. Everything that relates, whether closely or more distantly, to psychic phenomena and to the action of psychic forces in general should be studied just like any other science. There is nothing miraculous or supernatural in them, nothing that should engender or keep alive superstition. Psychic training, rationally and scientifically conducted, can lead to desirable results. This is why the information gained about such training, even though it is practiced empirically and based on theories to which we cannot always give assent, constitutes useful documentary evidence worthy of our attention. Now, I'm going to read the author's preface, and then we'll start in on chapter 1. It would be a great mistake to believe that the spread of scientific knowledge in our time has withered among our contemporaries the attraction of the marvelous and of extraordinary facts. The belief in psychic phenomena, in miracles, and in magic is as alive in our days as it was in the Middle Ages. What we have gained is the freedom to speak of these things and to attempt the experience of them without having to fear the stakes of the Inquisition. Because I have lived in Tibet, I am assailed with demands to cause and to produce extraordinary happenings for the benefit of those who come to me for reasons whose nature varies. It ranges from the simple desire to satisfy curiosity to the desire to pass an examination, to obtain success in a business transaction, to cure an illness, or to accomplish crimes. For example, an abandoned wife, impelled by the thirst for revenge, asked me simply to suppress the unfaithful husband and his accomplice. Of course, it was not a matter of my arming myself with a revolver and banally going to assassinate the guilty pair, but of causing them to perish from a distance by occult means, which I would use without leaving my room. All of these seekers after miracles would perhaps be the most surprised to hear me say that the Tibetans do not believe in miracles, that is to say, in supernatural happenings. They consider the extraordinary facts which astonish us to be the work of natural energies, which come into action in exceptional circumstances and through the skill of someone who knows how to release them, or sometimes through the agency of an individual who unknowingly contains within himself the elements apt to move certain material or mental mechanisms which produce extraordinary phenomena. The Tibetans also tend to believe that everything with which one imagines can be realized. They claim that if the imagined facts corresponded to no external reality, one could not conceive of their images. Again, with relation to this, the Tibetans believe by a very strong and very continuous concentration of thought, one can actually create the living and acting external reality of the form upon which the mental concentration is exercised. We will see examples of this. In all cases, as I have said, it is a matter of natural energies, whose action is either spontaneous or controlled by individuals who have the capacity to do so. It is possible for these individuals to obtain, in certain cases, the aid of beings whose nature is other than human. This belief, too, is very widespread in Tibet. It is, moreover, current in our countries also. Prayers addressed to the saints, promises of offerings made to them in order to induce them to fulfill our desires, or to use their influence upon superior powers in order to obtain this fulfillment, as well as the tenebrous pacts mentioned in the stories of the Middle Ages all proceed from an analogous belief. I did not go to Tibet with the idea of seeing miracles there. I was doing research on the forms which Buddhism assumed in becoming Lamaism, that is to say, in annexing and blending a number of doctrinal or real ritualistic elements borrowed from Nepalese, Tantrism, from Bon, B-O-N, with 2 dots over the O, so an umlaut, the ancient religion which dominated Tibet before the introduction of Buddhism, and of other elements of an Altaic or even more northern origin, which came to Tibet by mysterious ways. I also wanted to visit this country of the high summits where the Indians have believed their gods to dwell. It happened that my voyage became a sojourn, and that I lived for many years traveling all through singular regions into which I had ventured. In the course of my travels, I witnessed unusual events, met strange people, and brushed the threshold of a particular spirituality. Thus, this book should serve only as a roadmap, a book of the ways which led me from the beaten paths. And this was written at Digue. I don't know how to pronounce this place, but I'll spell it for you. Digne in the French Alps, April 1965. Signed, Alexandra David-Neel.